Hey everybody, we're gonna do some questions and some answers, and I'll be the one answering the questions. That's how this is gonna work. Edit, cut. Hey everybody, we're gonna do some questions and some answers, and it's gonna be great fun. Is what we're gonna have. We're gonna have great fun, not just regular fun. Anyway, you guys provided me with some sweet ass questions from the old internets, and I'm here to provide answers for you. We're gonna start serious, super serious, with Superman versus Batman. I assume that doesn't mean in a fight, but which one I like more. Both very close to my heart. Big deal. But dude, it's got to be Superman, right? I don't know what your argument is for Batman, but you're gonna be wrong. You're gonna be wrong. He's more human than most humans are. If you think about it, Clark Kent taught me how to be a man. Clark Kent could teach the world something, and we all need to listen. Listen up. Next question. If you weren't a singer-songwriter, what would you be? That's something I've certainly spent a lot of time thinking about in my life. I think I would be some sort of like therapist or psychiatrist. Whichever one of those requires less schooling. Solving other people's problems. I think I'd find satisfaction in that. And yeah, so that's something. Next question. Did you always sing, play guitar, those kind of things? Well, yeah, I think I always sang. I remember being a kid, 5, 6 years old. Whenever we rode in the car, my mom would let me choose the station, and I would sing along as loud as I could. Back then, we're talking like 89, 90, 91. It was mostly all like whatever was new country at the time. So Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks. Somewhere there's a video out there of me like 5 years old singing Indian Outlaw, like getting into it. I wasn't saying I was good at it. I don't think I was good at it. Mom said when I was like 5, we heard Curtis Lowe come on the radio, and she said I knew all the words, but I had never heard the song before. But she had played it while she was pregnant with me, so she thought that I learned all the words in utero, which I don't think is true. But shit, man, why not? Crazy things happen every day. Play me a song, Curtis Lowe. When you do a cover, do you do it by ear? Do you read music? I don't read music at all. I never have. I've tried a couple of times. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to read music today. And then 5 minutes in, I go, nope. So yeah, when I was young, I used to do it like I would Google it or whatever the internet was back then. And you get the words and you get the little chords above them and just the letter G or C or whatever, and you learn it that way. Nowadays, I can pretty much do it by ear. Depends on how difficult it is. I'm not that great. If I'm having trouble, I'll pull up a YouTube video where I can see what their hands are doing. But really, how good you play isn't so important. It's all sing it like you mean it. Advice. Next question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? That's too much of a question. Really, I just want to be happy. It seems silly. I want to be able to still play music for a living. I'd like a mate, whether that means a wife or whatever that means. I'd like that part of my life to be comfortable. I just turned 30 yesterday. So in 10 years I will have just turned 40. And so I'll probably be having some sort of crisis. I'll probably buy like a Camaro. Yeah. Fucking Camaros. That's what I'll be doing in 10 years. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! Next question. The classic boxers or briefs. I think that the only answer that anybody should be giving these days is boxer briefs, right? Who's wearing boxers, man? Or briefs? Somebody spent their whole life inventing the greatest kind of male underwear that you can have, which is the boxer brief. And if you're not using it, then you're just an asshole. This one's a little deeper. Do the women you sing about know of the songs you've written about them, and what are their feelings? I think for the most part they do. Let me first say that there isn't that many, so it's not like there's a girl for every song. I'm not that good at talking to girls. I'm very bad at it, really. There's only a few, and there's a lot of songs to go around. Maybe in the beginning it was more about this specific song, about this specific girl, this one about this one. Nowadays I find that because there are so many common threads in those relationships and in everybody's relationship, and what always makes a good song is something that people can relate to, and so you find those common threads. So really a lot of the stuff I write that's about relationships is about all of them. But yeah, I think the ones that they're about, they know They know what's up. If they ask me, I'll tell them. Next question: do you have any interest in surfing? No, not even a little. I have interest in like floating around in the water. That sounds okay. Like a boat treasure hunting. Shit, let's all just fake our own deaths and go treasure hunting. Get all choose new names, grow our beards long, scuba diving. Do you believe in previous lives? And if so, does it influence your current one? Do I believe? I guess I do. Doesn't feel like it would be like a recent. I don't think people are like, I was in World War One. I feel like it's probably like 1,000 years, something like that. So like in the year like 1014, I was like, you know, a minstrel warrior, battle axe in one hand, and one of those little guitars made out of a gourd. Wandered town to town with my long hair, my beard, mead. I've been reading the Game of Thrones books, so maybe that's where my head's at right now. Direwolf. What are the origins of the song Might Be? It's one of my favorite songs. Thank you so much for liking that song. Might Be is actually pretty straightforward. There was a girl I was with. We broke up. She was with somebody new very, very quickly. Somebody who was the kind of exact opposite of me. I didn't take it well. I was young. I was hormonal. I punched a hole in a closet door. That's where that line comes from. It was about that kind of desperation that you think is as bad as it's ever going to get. Next question. When you're not playing music, what do you do for fun? I do a lot. I do a lot of things. I actually don't do much, come to think of it. Barely do a damn thing. I like to play disc golf, frisbee golf for you, but it's serious. I take it seriously. I like to read books. I like to play cards. I've been into audiobooks lately, which are pretty great. You can just like do stuff around the house, and some old man with an accent reads you stories. Shit, yeah. Where's this been all my life? Don't make fun of audiobooks. I like them. They're close to my heart. And don't make fun of your friends that like them, because they're onto something. Next question. Do you have any musical guilty pleasures? No. I do my best to give you love that lasts forever. It seems like everything I do it better. Okay, next question. Who inspired Jack and Jill, and who's the girl that you forgot her name? Took me a minute to figure out who you were talking about with that girl, but I got you. First of all, Jack and Jill, I'd love to tell you it was like, dude, I met this guy at a bus stop named Jack, and he told me this story. But honest to God, that song came from just an opening line, which was Jack was into Jill, Jill was in the cabinet. That was in my head for some reason or another, and I said, that's pretty cool. And that's like, you can tell there's a story waiting to happen there, and then I just kind of, one line at a time, let the story tell itself to me. The girl who I forgot her name, that's a line from Stay a Little Longer. I knew a girl here once, didn't catch her name, just gave her a ride up to Sugarloaf Lane. People hear that sometimes and they go like, wow, that's such a great metaphor for, whatever one night stand or whatever they thought it was. And honest to God, what it was is I was driving home from Quebec where my dad lives. That's how that story kind of takes place. Is I cross the border into my homeland. I'm coming back. I have to drive by Sugarloaf. Before I get to Sugarloaf Mountain, I see a girl hitchhiking. I never pick up hitchhikers, but she was pretty, and there wasn't a lot of cars. I was like 18, I'm out on just crossed the international border by myself. So I picked her up, and she worked at a restaurant on Sugarloaf, and I gave her a ride like 10 miles up the road to work, and she was nice, and I said goodbye, and then I left. And that's the story, man. Like, I literally gave her a ride up to Sugarloaf Lane, and that's it. And I couldn't tell you what she looked like or what her name was or any of those things anymore. But whoever she is, hello. Hey, all right, next question. This one's a little on the deeper side. I will do my best with it. A lot of your songs are on the melancholy side, and your photos on Facebook are pretty deep. Do you think that the people closest to you would describe you as a positive person? Or maybe the artist in you could be described as in perpetual turmoil. Do you think that it has an impact on your relationships? The people closest to me certainly would not consider me a positive person. I don't think it's necessarily just like negative all the time. But yeah, I think I'm a brooding son of a bitch. And people who are really positive and full of optimism just creep me out, man. Like, what are you so happy about? You don't have to be negative. You don't have to be the world is shit, all that kind of thing. Just just take it down a notch. I'd say I'm running at like a 4.4 on the happiness scale most of the time, and that seems pretty normal. Does it affect my relationships? Sure does. Especially when I was younger. I used to just I'd write breakup songs when I was still with somebody. There's stuff that, and you got to write when it comes to you, and you got to do what you got to do. But now at least I can kind of, people know what to expect a little bit more. I think I'm better at explaining the kind of moods that I can get in, and I've never been able to write well with anybody else in the room. So there's times I have to just disappear. But I try to, for all the disappearing and negativity that it might sound like I bring, I try to make up for it best I can. But I think it's a job. It's also a job where money is, one week you have some, the next 3 you don't, and that's really hard. It's hard for me, but it's especially hard for a girl, a partner of any sort, to deal with. And it can put me in a bad mood. That part of the job can put me in a bad mood that, makes everything else a little darker. But I'm getting better. I think that's, you try to learn, you try to get older, you try to be wiser, you try to let it affect you less, and keep doing what you do. So there you go. Next question. We're almost done here, folks. Don't freak out. Do you have a bucket list? I guess no. I don't have like a physical written laying on the fridge kind of bucket list, but there's certainly things I'd like to do before I'm dead. I think a lot of folks have I'd like to go to the pyramids or this waterfall or whatever it is. Mine aren't so much places as like books I want to read and conversations I want to have and people I want to meet. I'd like to have a conversation with Ray LaMontagne at some point in my life. If we're talking about fried chicken for 2 minutes, that'd be cool, I want a hot air balloon. I want to have a hot air balloon and tie a rope to my roof and then just go up and hang out and not have to worry about floating away. Treasure hunting. Did we already go for treasure hunting? My beard and like a harpoon gun. Bikini girls. Hey everybody, we made it to the end. I'm very proud of you guys for sticking around. Thanks so much for doing this whole pledge campaign with me. Really couldn't do it without you. Hopefully we'll do more kind of fun stuff like this. Maybe not exactly like this. We're figuring it out as we go. But I got one more question left. I saved something a little more lighthearted for the end. What is the best opening line in any song ever, in your opinion? This is a great question. One I've actually answered before in my life, and I don't think that my answers have changed very much. It's a very close 1-2 on this one. Number 2 has to go to Mr. Bruce Springsteen with the second best opening line ever in any song. Of course, it's Thunder Road. Screen door slams, Mary's dress waves. So good. Just simple. So good, but it paints the picture, does the thing. That's what songs are supposed to do. Thank you, Bruce. And the best opening line to any song ever. Gotta tip my cap to Mr. Warren Zevon with this one. I went home with a waitress, the way I always do. Seriously, it's genius. This guy, this is Mr. Zevon. He's not sitting over there. It's just a computer. But if he was, I'd high five that man so many times. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I hope we do something fun like this again sometime soon. Thanks for keeping up with the pledge campaign. Say hi. Do your thing. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Take it easy. Bye-bye.